Hello, this is the Radio Geek, and today for you I have another radio. This one is the WeatherX WR182R. Now this radio, I wasn't particularly looking for it. I went in search of something that I could review that was small. And I was at a local store, a chain in the Midwest called Meyer, and I was in there looking around, and I saw this radio, and I thought, huh, that's kind of interesting. I haven't seen that one. And then I noticed it was on clearance. They were, getting rid of it. So I thought, well, that's a pretty good price. I think I'll review this radio and check it out. So I'll show you the box here. It's got the sticker on it yet, and if you can read that, 75% off. You pay $5.50. So I got this radio for $5.50. So it was regularly 22 bucks, I guess. And there is a lot of competition in the $22 price range. So, but we'll get into more of that later. So basically it has your standard features that you'd expect to find on a emergency weather radio. It has the weather band, the AM band, and the FM band. It has a flashlight, has a dynamo crank, and it has a port on it that allows you to charge cell phones from its built-in rechargeable battery. So we'll bring in the radio here. You basically have your volume and on-off right here, and then your dial here, and the little where it says tuning, and there's a little dot there. That's where your tuner is pointed. And on the outside perimeter here, you've got your FM, and then you go a little bit further inside, and that's the AM band, and a little bit further in is the weather band, and it's labeled 1 through 7 for the 7 NOAA weather radio channels in the United States. It also has the flashlight. This is the on-off switch for the flashlight. Up top, you have your band selector switch, your FM, AM, and weather band. You have the antenna, telescoping antenna for FM and weather band. This antenna is pretty small. It's probably maybe a foot long, but that's probably good enough. On this side you have the flashlight, which is 3 LEDs, and then there's a cover here, a little flap, like a rubberized flap, and it says on the one side, it says phone charger 5 volts, and it tells you the polarity of the plug, and then here it says DC in 4.5 volts 500 milliamps, and the polarity of that plug. So you need something to plug in here, this 4.5 volt DC input, to be able to charge the internal battery, or you have to charge the internal battery with the crank. They do not include anything to charge the battery inside. There's no AC wall wart adapter. There's no USB cord, for plugging into that. So either you have to have your own wall cube, or you have to do the hand cranking to charge the internal battery. They do give you a, I don't know, about a foot and a half cord, and then a couple of plugs for charging a USB device or USB micro and mini. So it covers most of your cell phones that it would charge, and then you would just plug it in to this side, and the internal battery would be able to charge your cell phone in an emergency. It has a switch here, the switches between running the devices off of the AA batteries that you can put in here, 3 AA batteries, or the rechargeable battery, which is inside. It's kind of nice you have your choice. You can either run it with the AA's or the rechargeable. Since it doesn't come with any kind of a charger, and I don't have anything that's of that voltage with that style of connector, the only way to charge the internal battery is with the crank, so I just put 3 AA batteries in there to run the radio. The crank is it's got a rather small handle, and this charger dynamo light comes on, and if you turn it, you really have to get it going for that light to come on, and I can't imagine cranking this thing enough to charge up that battery inside. I did crack it open and take a look-see, and it is 3, what do they call them, half-size AAA batteries, so not much capacity there, so maybe not really worth the effort. It would have been nicer if they'd given you something to plug in to the charge the batteries from a USB plug thing, you know, charge it with your computer or your cell phone charger or something like that. That might have been a little bit more useful to get the internals to charge. Bottom, there's nothing on the bottom, just a sticker with model number and whatnot. So let's go over some of the things here. We got obviously the flashlight, and it's not bad. I mean, at night you'd let you see around and be able to, you know, not stumble over something. So that's good. It's the good thing that it has. So I guess we'll just turn it on and see what happens here. We'll put it on FM here. I'll just go ahead and raise the antenna. Okay, now we are at the very bottom of the band here, around 88 megahertz. Notice the tuning needs to be rather touchy.
Hunched over in the shower. They're highly
we'll try not to dwell too much on music.
To design you a personalized plan for silky smooth.
Touchdown, change the scoreboard in the return game, and anytime we... Annie Miller. Our technical director and engineer is Audrey Bentham with...
So that was just a real quick bandstand. There's a lot of music on FM. The speaker here is actually, I don't know what size it is. It's really small, but it looks like you got this big grill here, but it's actually only like this much of it here. This corner is where the speaker is, so it's just a small portion here. So that speaker is pretty small. So we'll turn it back on here, and we'll go ahead to the next band, the AM band. And looks like we're right at the top of the band here. Very touchy tuning.
Really hard the first 2 innings. They got a 3-1 lead, and now Daniel Norris
Wow. WBZ, I'm surprised. I was really surprised it got WBZ because I wasn't very impressed with the AM on this radio at all. If you turn it slow enough and go back and forth enough times, you can pick up a few things, but it's mostly local stuff. I was really shocked that it got WBZ actually. You just breathe on it, you lose the station. Yeah, Kalamazoo. So anyway, that's AM. So now we'll try weather band, which is, you know, the reason to have a radio like this, right?
To 20 miles per hour until midday. Chance of precipitation 100%.
Yeah, that helped.
Saturday night.
See if we can get another one.
Issued by the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Winter south of Lower Michigan brings accumulating snow south of Interstate 96.
Snow. It's almost May.
Interstate 94 where 3 to 5 inches of snow is expected.
Ugh.
Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour.
Okay.
Cloudy with a 50%.
Well, a couple anyway. That's okay. That's pretty good, you know. Get a couple of those weather stations. Yeah, let's just say I'm glad I didn't pay $22 for this thing, that's for sure. Even at $5.50, it's like barely worth that much, I think. I don't know, there's probably others out there that's gotten this radio, and perhaps they've gotten a better one. I imagine the quality control on something like this is pretty bad. But yeah, the AM band really wasn't that great. FM was okay. Actually, that's probably the best band on this radio is the FM. The weather band, yeah, I guess it's adequate. I guess I got a couple of stations. I guess I can't complain. It does get that, which is probably the main reason you're getting it. But the AM band is pretty much a local station type thing. I was, like I say, I was really shocked I got WBZ. I never got that on this thing before, I'll tell you that. But yeah, all in all, I guess if you see one at a thrift store and you really want one bad, and it's a couple of bucks maybe, but you know, at this retail price of around $22, there are so many other weather radios in the $25 range that are much better than this. So I guess I would say if it's really super cheap, like what I found mine for, yeah, you might go for it. But if it's, you know, anything over, I don't know, $8, I would just say don't even look at it. Anyway, this has been the WeatherX WR182. Until next time, this is the Radio Geek.